Demerara River Bridge to last 24 to 48 hours with heavyweight trucks. US $20 million 150-room courtyard by Marriott Hotel opens at TIMEHRI. Voters cautioned for alleged violations ahead of September 1 polls. CJ to rule on forward Guyana movement case against GECOM on Friday, and remarkable accomplishment as new Demerara River Bridge set for early September opening. Now for the news in detail. With just 3 days before national and regional elections, General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Dr. JAGDEO, says the opposition camp is clearly in confusion and disarray. This, he said, is based on the conflicting public positions of several opposition parties in recent times.
APNU is saying that a vote for win is a vote for the PPP. We've been at this for, 4 months, 5 months now? And not a word of criticism from APNU of win. So I'm wondering what's changing now, or what has changed? Did there fall out? Was not enough money not delivered? Or it's just another ploy? Because most people in the People's Progressive Party's base understand that WIN will collaborate with APNU, and that is why they have not criticized them. You know this instinctively. People in Guyana are not stupid. So they know the party that has been pointing out the criminality of the Mohammeds has been the People's Progressive Party. And they have, the WIN party has only been criticizing and lying about the PPP. You know, we sanctioned them, we're vindictive against them. They never said anything bad about the 5 years of APNU. Or, you know, the practical destruction of the country or their attempt to steal elections. So they never criticized APNU or AFC. And APNU for 4 months did not say a word about them. Clearly, the numbers, their original calculation that a collaboration with WIN could see the PPP be a minority government, I think maybe they've had other advice now that the PPP is going to win the majority and significantly so. And they're now fighting back for their own position. Now you see them frantically going around the place. Henry Jeffrey even saying, vote race. You know, they're panicked all the time. Henry Jeffrey even was on the platform saying, vote race, the elections. So that's how I see it. But any sensible Guyanese would know that if they felt that way, why didn't they say it for the past 4 months? And you remember Mohammed said he will be taking people from the PPP and from APNU? Well, who did he take from the PPP? No, couldn't be Brian Max or Doggy or Fata. But he took, what's her name? Two ministers of the last government.
Just 4 hours ago, the APNU posted a video with the caption, "A vote for the smaller parties is a vote for the PPP to continue corruption." How would you respond to this, given that no members of your party are a part of any of the smaller parties contesting in these upcoming elections?
So a vote for Nigel Hughes is a vote for the PPP now. They're getting really from, I think it's becoming more absurd by the day. So really, as I said before, it's beyond insanity what they're saying. And I think they're just losing it. So Nigel Hughes is saying, split the vote. But I think he was speaking to PP supporters. Terence Campbell said to PP supporters, you stay home so we could win the elections. Now, APNU is putting out a statement. 4 months they were silent on Mohammed. Now they realize he's the most corrupt person in Guyana, 3 days before the elections. They're all working together and it's falling apart because obviously the new figures emerged. The new figures emerged which showed that their initial hope, which was working together would have brought the PPP below 50% in Parliament, is not going to succeed any longer. That the PPP is going to cross that threshold by a significant number. And now the madness has started. They started cannibalizing on each other now. And so that's a reflection of madness that's taking place in the opposition camp. It's in total disarray. They're in disarray in these camps. Dysfunctional often.
In this Vanu Manikchand report, you will hear that the highly anticipated US $262 million new Demerara River Bridge is scheduled to be commissioned in early September, according to incumbent President Dr. Irfan Ali, as he joined officials early Thursday morning to witness the final pour of cement to fully connect the 4-lane structure.
This is for the people of Guyana. Please proceed with the final pour.
That was President Dr. Irfan Ali instructing for the final set of cement to be poured to fully connect the eastern and western sides of the new US $262 million Demerara River Bridge. This milestone event was done in the wee hours of Thursday, and according to Dr. Ali, it brings the bridge closer to completion.
So the bridge is structurally going to be completed. As I said, after this, the final concrete will be poured, the final piece of pavement. There is one section of the entrance on the the east end that will be completed. And of course, we had some modifications of the design, putting in a collector's lane for better traffic management and traffic flow. So that is being completed. So I would say very early in September, we will be driving on and off of the bridge.
President Ali further explained that the road works leading to both ends of the bridge are being worked on.
They're almost completed. There's only one section. The section, and that was because the bridge was under construction for safety reasons. That section, by tomorrow, in the next 48 hours, will be up to the level for pavement, I think, paving, and then that section will be completed. The other section on the other side, we had existing structures that were supporting the construction of the bridge that is now removed, so that collector's lane is now being completed.
The new Demerara River Bridge is a 2.65-kilometer fixed 4-lane high-span cable-stayed structure that will allow the uninterrupted flow of vessels, thus facilitating the free flow of vehicular traffic toll-free. This, the incumbent president explained, would not only significantly reduce traffic congestion and travel time, but add productive value.
The bridge is going to give you more productive time, so productivity will increase, man-hour will increase, less stress on families. I don't know if you ever had to go on the West Coast during the traffic. The stress on families, school children, they normally leave an hour and a half earlier to get past the traffic to get to school in the morning and then get home late in the evening. So there's a lot of social benefit, more family time, more community time, more productive time. All of that adds to the value creation of the bridge. We're here to celebrate. We're here to move forward. I'm very, very proud of our guys. Listen, I put a lot of pressure on these guys. I'm proud of this team, and I'm sure that they will ensure that everything is as we want it to be, bright and beautiful. It's an amazing time for Guyana. This is not about the president. This is about Guyana. This is about the people. This is a remarkable accomplishment by the people, for the people, and we are very proud.
This new bridge will replace the aged floating Demerara Harbor Bridge, which will be removed and reused to bridge other waterways across the country. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manakchand.
Meanwhile, before the bridge is open to the public in September, Public Works Minister Juan Edgel assured that final load testing will be conducted by using heavyweight vehicles over a 48-hour period. Here is Vanu Manikchand once again with the details.
Throughout the process of building this bridge, the consultants and engineers would have conducted internationally certified methods and tests to ensure the bridge meets all the structural requirements as is required. And of course, on this high span, before the bridge is open, there will be the loading test, and that loading test is important on the high span because as you know, in cable stay bridge, that is how to do the adjustments on the cable to ensure that everything is up to the standard.
That was incumbent President Dr. Irfan Ali given an assurance that load testing would be conducted on the new Demerara River Bridge before the structure is open for use by the public. He was at the time speaking with reporters in the wee hours of Thursday as the final pour of cement was done to fully connect the eastern and western ends of the new US $262 million bridge. Public Works Minister Juan Edgel subsequently explained the testing process.
When you talk about the load testing, my understanding is that there will be 16 trucks, 16 trucks, each weighing 15 tons, that will be put at particular sections. A computer will be hooked up, and in a 24 to 48-hour period, there are certain readings that will be taken to talk about the movement of the cables and all the rest of it to ensure that everything is aligned in keeping with the design standard. And that's all.
Was this always in the plan?
Always in the plan, written into the contract.
Are the trucks
Nobody made us do it. You could get a copy of the contract, always in the plan.
Edgel further sought to assert the structural integrity of this critical piece of infrastructure.
That crane that you see there, it's more than 700 tons. The crawlers that brought on all of the girders fetches about 160 tons. So anybody have any concern about if this bridge could take 100 tons, 200 tons, 500 tons, it is proven.
Nevertheless, Dr. Ali assured Guyanese that there was no compromise on the standards as he commended the teams working on the bridge.
I'm just so emotional about these guys because I know the pressure that I've placed on them, right? You know, there was times when people said, you know, we're going to have a delay until December. No way. We said no. The contractors, the consultant, and they're here, they can tell you, right? Instead of 10 engineers, 20 engineers came, right? They double up on the labor that was required. This is a tremendous accomplishment, you know, anywhere in the world to have this done in a time frame. And as I said, we have not compromised any standards. All of the standards has been kept. And the consultants are here, they will sign off on the bridge. There's a defect liability period of 2 years. So, you know, everything, all of the safeguards are there.
The new cable-stayed high-span Demerara River Bridge consists of 4 lanes and spans 2.6 kilometers connecting the east bank of Demerara to the west bank of Demerara. At its highest point, the bridge is 50 meters, allowing for vessels to pass freely without any interruptions to vehicular traffic, thus mitigating the current traffic woes and congestion. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manakchand.
Following the conclusion of submissions in the matter brought by the Forward Guyana movement against the Guyana Elections Commission GECOM, Acting Chief Justice Navindra Singh is expected to hand down his ruling on Friday at 14 hours. Tamika Garnett was at the High Court and filed this report.
Presentations closed with attorney for the applicant, U.S.-based Vivian Williams, delivering his response to the arguments put forward by Attorney General Anil Nandalal and GECOM's attorney Arudranath Gosai. As presentations in the case wrapped up on Wednesday, Attorney General Nandalal accused Williams of attempting to introduce new arguments into the case. According to Nandalal, Williams chaotically departed from his pleadings and argued new points, though not to the benefit of his case.
But this morning, Mr. Vivian Williams was scheduled to do his reply to the submissions of the Attorney General and GECOM. And he did so. Unfortunately, when he did so this morning, he introduced into the case some new and additional submissions and some variations. I believe he did so having recognized from yesterday that the arguments that he advanced were all the same and will not succeed. But in my respectful review, the shifts which he made this morning made the case even worse.
Notwithstanding Williams' 1-hour presentation, the judge informed Williams that he spent much of his time simply arguing his case and did not respond to any particular arguments of the defending attorneys. The case at hand has been filed by Region 9 resident FGM candidate Crystal Fisher, who is challenging that FGM's exclusion from the ballot in her region violates her constitutional right to vote for a party of her choice. One of 6 political parties contesting the upcoming September 1st general and regional elections, FGM did not submit geographical constituency lists for Regions 7, 8, and 9. As such, they have not been included on the ballot in those regions. However, speaking to reporters on the sidelines outside of the court, Gosai argued that it is the votes from the geographical constituencies list that enables parties to attain votes for their national top-up list and not the other way around.
The argument I have made and the argument that GECOM has been making, and it is in ROPA and the CCJ has given it blessings, that you're not voting for a national top-up list. The national top-up list, as the word suggests, top-up, is that it is in addition to something else. So in other words, the national top-up list is not an independent list. For example, for Guyana movement couldn't go and say we're just submitting a national top-up list and forego the constituency list. The vote comes from the constituency list and then simultaneously is counted to the national top-up list. So in other words, if you don't contest in geographic constituency number 9, you can't get a vote for your top-up list because you don't have a constituency list. In other words, your geographic constituency list is what determines whether you get a vote on your national top-up list. The national top-up list is dependent, it is like the baby of the geographic constituency list. So if you don't have a mother, you can't have a child. It's as simple as that. So I don't believe that the court properly addressing our arguments will find that a national top-up list alone, that a party can automatically find itself on the ballot paper for the regions, for the geographic constituencies, where they did not submit a list. Otherwise, the court will be committing a breach of law.
At the core of the arguments of both sides are the interpretations of articles contained in the Guyana's constitution and the Representation of the People's Act, ROPA. In her application, Fisher has asked the court to declare that this incident violates her constitutional right, as well as a denial of her right as a candidate to ballot access and contest in the elections. However, the AG has rejected the narrative that GECOM's actions amount to discrimination, instead pointing to FGM's deliberate decision not to contest in Region 9.
And when we ask him and tell us how GECOM is misapplying ROPA and how that misapplication of ROPA violates the Constitution in the terms of which provision of the Constitution is being violated. And where in your pleadings you have set out the facts to establish this breach of this provision. None of those questions he was able to answer, and they are not on his case, in the pleadings of the case. So his attempt to do damage control to the damage done to his case yesterday, I believe has made the case worse this morning. So I have every confidence that we will prevail.
Nandalal has highlighted that any citizen's right to vote, while protected under the Constitution, is not absolute and must be exercised within the framework of electoral laws. According to him, the Constitution guarantees the voter only the right to vote for those who are contesting, and in this instance, FGM did not submit a geographical constituency list for Region 9, thereby making itself ineligible to appear on the ballot in that region. Meanwhile, Gosai addressed what the next steps could be, whether the ruling is in FGM's favor or against.
But if the court were to find that there is a breach, if the court were to find strangely, and I say to the respected court, that that FGM, for Guyana movement, the party should appear on the ballot paper for region 7, 8, and 9, then the elections can't go on without putting them on the ballot paper. It's as simple as that. You have to put them on the ballot paper. But the case law has gone, and I've referred to it as well, that in instances like these, when a nomination has already taken place, parties have already submitted their list of candidates. There's a case coming out from the Guyana jurisprudence argued by Sir Sridhar Ramphal, Mohammed Shabadi, the greats. And the courts have held in that case that the court will not stop the election from going on. You can then contest the election, present your arguments afterwards. So I've relied on that case. In the event that the court were to find that For Guyana movement should be on the ballot paper, we're saying you have to wait until the election has been contested. And that is why I made the point, since the 23rd of July, For Guyana movement knew the contesting parties for the geographic constituency. So you can't sit back and relax and 1 week before the election come and say put us on this. So let's say the court were to rule in favor of GECOM in this case, and the applicants were to appeal. The appeal doesn't stop anything. You'll have to go to the Court of Appeal and ask to stop the election. And I don't see any court doing that at this late stage, because you have to look at the rights not only of the applicant, but of the thousands of Guyanese who are also going to be affected, because you have over 300,000 or 400,000 voters, leaving aside region 7, constituency 7, 8, and 9. So the court has to cast a balancing exercise as to what do you do in a situation like this, which jurisprudentially from the region, because I practice in the OECS extensively on election matters, they don't stop an election from going.
Reporting for the evening news, Tamika Garnett.
Here is Michael Henry to report that incumbent Prime Minister Mark Phillips has outlined a series of developmental projects for Sophia, including upgraded roads, new streetlights, and expanded social services, while urging residents to support the PPPC for another term in office.
He made this announcement during a PPPC public meeting at Seafield, Sophia on Wednesday evening. According to incumbent Prime Minister, part of these initiatives includes the installation of streetlights in the Sophia community.
We have the sports ground and we have the lights, but then we want additional streetlights and we want additional recreational spaces will be developed, and Sophia will have several of those additional recreational spaces. Just imagine Sophia with more lights, more cameras, right? More sports facilities at your sports ground, which already got lights, more recreational spaces. I would come in and live in Sophia. I will come right now and live in Sophia.
Meanwhile, he extended his perspective to the housing sector, stating that property values in Sophia are expected to rise in the coming years.
I will come right now and live in Sophia, because I know what Sophia will be transformed to over the next 5 years. So you who are already living in Sophia, hold on to your house lot. Hold on to your property, because the value will go up. You notice we building out roads and highways. I live in Diamond, right? But the same thing has happened in Sophia. Because of that new road in front of your home, the value of your property went up.
Phillips noted that property values in Sophia are expected to rise with potential impacts on revaluation and insurance premiums. He emphasized that the PPPC government is focused on uplifting communities.
You may not know, but if you go and try to revalue it or go to the insurance company, after they come and inspect, they may tell you you have to pay more because your value of your property went up. And that is what we're all about in government, the PPPC government, uplifting people, economic empowerment, increasing the value of your property, and women and youths will have special focus 2025-2030.
Michelle Henry, The Evening News.
Let's now tell you the chairperson of the Carter Center Board of Trustees and grandson of the late U.S. President Jimmy Carter, Jason Carter, will lead the Carter Center's observer mission to Guyana's regional and general elections. They arrived in Guyana ahead of the polls and is undergoing training in advance of their observation of Election Day, tabulation, and the post-election environment. Carter will meet with key stakeholders, including political party candidates, civil society organizations, government officials, and other international election observer missions before observing polling, counting, and tabulation. He returns to Guyana after having co-led the center's 2020 election observation mission in the country. The center's core team of electoral experts arrived in late June and issued a preliminary statement summarizing key observations in the pre-election period on August 19. After the election, it will issue reports that offer an independent and impartial assessment of the electoral process. The Carter Center is here at the invitation of the government of Guyana. It has a long-standing commitment to Guyana and has worked in the country since 1991 to strengthen democracy, support civil society, encourage sustainable development, and reinforce the rule of law. The Carter Center is a recognized leader in the international election observation community and has conducted more than 125 election observation missions globally, including in Guyana in 1992, 2001, 2006, 2015, and 2020. Coming up, US $20 million 150-room courtyard by Marriott Hotel opens at TIMEHRI, and voters cautioned for alleged violations ahead of September 1 polls. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Seeing her succeed makes me proud, and I know I made the right choice by giving her Enfogrow since she was little. Knowing that 85% of brain growth will occur by age 3, Enfogrow's blend of ingredients such as DHA helps support your toddler's brain development and contains 22 nutrients to support their diet or nutrition. Enfogrow, what you do today will last forever. This product is not intended to be a substitute or...
Granny! What are you doing on the right of way? Like you're saying let the sunshine stretch your legs. Sunshine? Look, forget I ask. You know you're not supposed to be on the right of way, Granny. But I ain't digging, building, burning, or planting. No horsing wrong, no horse riding, or nothing for doing horses. But Sunshine? But you and Sunshine get out the right of way. Sunshine, I'll be glad. Good.
The One Guyana Floating Production Storage and Offloading Vessel has achieved first oil, marking another historic moment for our nation. With the Yellowtail project now in operation, production will eventually increase by 250,000 barrels per day, taking Guyana's national output capacity to over 900,000 barrels daily, the highest per capita in the world. This milestone means much more opportunities for Guyanese, from jobs in transport, engineering, and construction to new contracts for local businesses.
The moment is coming. He has the ball. Will he make the shot? And he made it! Goal! This is the biggest win we've seen in ages. Feel the rush with every bet and win big. Play online at www.ibetgamesur.com.
With iBet Supreme, every game is your game. iBet to win with iBet Supreme.
Must be 18 years and older to bet.
Seeing her succeed makes me proud, and I know I made the right choice by giving her Enfogrow since she was little. Knowing that 85% of brain growth will occur by age 3, Enfogrow's blend of ingredients such as DHA helps support your toddler's brain development and contains 22 nutrients to support their diet or nutrition. Enfogrow, what you do today will last forever. This product is not intended to be a substitute.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. Guyana's first airport hotel, the US $20 million Courtyard by Marriott Hotel at TIMEHRI near the Chedijagan International Airport, was commissioned on Wednesday, adding 150 rooms to the country's accommodation capacity, with plans already underway for an extension. Details in this report.
Located near the Chedijagan International Airport at TIMEHRI, the 6-story US $20 million Courtyard by Marriott Hotel was built by Cardinal Investments Inc., which was founded by the Basu Group, and it will target airline crew, diplomats, business travelers, and transit guests. Speaking at the commissioning ceremony on Wednesday, Chief Executive Officer of Cardinal Investments and Managing Director of the Basu Group, Roy Basu, said there are already plans in place to expand the 150-room hotel to meet growing demands.
So promising is this beginning, we are already planning to expand, and I dare say that we are in advanced discussions with the Marriott team to add 75 more rooms adjacent to this property, along with an entertainment complex featuring fast food, an Irish pub, ATM banking, a rooftop bar, and of course, a proposed casino. Your Excellency, I'm echoing your call to dream big.
The Courtyard by Marriott Hotel was constructed in response to calls from the Dr. Irfan Ali-led government for the local private sector to capitalize on incentivized investment opportunities to expand the country's hospitality sector. According to the incumbent president during Wednesday's opening ceremony, these investments by the Basu Group are reflective of not only the confidence of the local private sector in Guyana's rapidly growing economy, but also his government's commitment to creating the environment for domestic companies to thrive.
The Courtyard by Marriott at Chedijagan International Airport is a majestic structure that attests to the fact that we are doing things better and quicker in this country. But this hotel is more than that. It is a symbol of ambition, a demonstration of confidence, and a cornerstone of the bold future we are building for our people. This investment is not an isolated act. It is part of a larger, deliberate, strategic plan. By the end of this year, Guyana will boast more than 2,000 world-class hotel rooms. We are not building hotels for the sake of hotels. We are building capacity. We are not just lifting ceilings, we are lifting standards.
The 150-room Courtyard by Marriott Hotel features 6 executive suites, a modern gym, a bistro restaurant and bar, a banquet hall to fit 200 persons, a pool, and an executive conference room. Over 300 Guyanese will benefit from direct and indirect job opportunities, including more than 100 individuals from surrounding communities. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manekchand.
Meanwhile, you will now hear that even with the brand new US $20 million Courtyard by Marriott hotel near the Chedijagan International Airport, the Basu Group continues to heed the call for added rooms in Guyana with the acquisition of another international hotel franchise, this time under the British group Intercontinental Hotels Group. General Manager Roy Basu disclosed on Wednesday that they have acquired the franchise for the Staybridge Suites Hotel, which will be built along the Heroes Highway.
I am now thrilled to announce that the Basu Group has secured the franchise for the Staybridge Suites Hotel under the Intercontinental Hotels Group. Lease for the land has been secured along the Heroes Highway near the oil and gas hub, with construction of this 130-suite hotel set to commence for early 2026. For more than 30 years, Basu Construction has woven its legacy into the tapestry of Guyana's progress, helping to shape our education, healthcare, and security sectors. Mr. President, because of your steadfast leadership, Guyana has emerged as one of the world's hottest investment destinations. I would like to now call on my fellow investors, both big and small. Let us seize this gilded opportunity. Never before has it been so promising to do business in Guyana, where your investments are secure and protected.
The People's Progressive Party civic government is planning to issue expressions of interest for the establishment of all-inclusive resorts at major hotspots across Guyana. Michael Henry has more in this report.
This was revealed by incumbent President Dr. Irfan Ali, who is returning on the PPPC ticket to seek a second term in office at the September 1, 2025 general and regional elections. Confident of his party's re-election, he outlined a packed agenda for the next PPPC administration during its first 6 weeks in office. Among the major initiatives to be undertaken within days of returning to government is issuing the expressions of interest for all-inclusive resorts to be constructed countrywide. To this end, the Guyanese leader charged the local private sector to position themselves to take advantage of the opportunities that would come, including the potential for joint ventures with international companies.
We'll be launching an expression of interest for all-inclusive resorts in Guyana. And the areas that we'll first offer include Orindu, Letem, Leg 1, Blue Waters, Linden, 63 Beach, Bartica, Stabrook Waterfront, Freedom Hoop Waterfront, and Kamana, that village. We expect strong local and international partnership and participation in this. I expect the Georgetown Chambers of Commerce and the Private Sector Commission to prepare themselves to build a consortium to ensure we get this done.
According to Ali, Guyana's awards-winning and globally recognized ecotourism product has positioned the country as a prime destination for such investments. He noted this hotel is critically linked to infrastructure and key investments to not only Guyana's transformation, but also its economic diversification plan, which includes pushing the local tourism industry.
And the Marriott Bonvoy all-inclusive brand must see this as their opportunity. Yes, you have brands. This brand in Barbados and Jamaica with the beautiful beaches and sea. But you also have it with the lush landscapes in Mexico and Costa Rica. But you don't have it with the best lush eco beaches and tourism product in the world. It is a shame that Marriott Bonvoy has not entered this market with its all-inclusive brand. You have missed out. We don't want you to miss out any longer. We're making Guyana fit for purpose as a major tourism destination. And we're not talking about tourism in a narrow sense. We're talking about a sector that can host conferences and conventions, a sector that can attract international events, from business summits to sports and cultural festivals, a sector that welcomes the adventure tourist, the heritage explorer, and the eco-traveler. In other words, we're creating an ecosystem, one that matches the dynamism of our people and the beauty of our land.
Ali further pointed out that the local private sector is already witnessing the benefits of major sporting events like the Caribbean Premier League and the Global Super League T20 tournaments. To this end, the Guyana government is looking to develop the South Dakota racing circuit into the #1 motor racing destination in the region. Plans are also afoot to build a world-class indoor arena that can host international events. Ali said the government will be aggressively going after opportunities to bring major global events like boxing, mixed martial arts, and entertainment in Guyana. Michelle Henry, The Evening News.
Harris Basham Mohammed, who reports that Guyana and Slovenia have jointly taken the lead at the United Nations in calling for a permanent ceasefire in Gaza as the humanitarian situation worsens and the UN confirms that famine conditions are already impacting children in the war-torn territory.
Guyana and Slovenia, serving as informal co-focal points on conflict and hunger at the United Nations Security Council, have issued a powerful joint appeal for an immediate and permanent ceasefire in Gaza, following the confirmation of famine condition and alarming rates of child malnutrition in the enclave. The statement delivered Tuesday by Ambassador Trishala Prasad of Guyana and Ambassador Udina Drubric of Slovenia on behalf of 14 Security Council members underscored the urgency of addressing what they describe as quote-unquote man-made crisis. The International Panel on the Classification of Food Security, in a report published last Friday, confirmed famine in children in the Middle East. The data also projected that famine condition could spread to Deir al-Balah and Khan Yunis by the end of September. According to the findings, nearly 1.5 million people across Gaza are facing emergency and crisis level of food insecurity, of which at least 130,000 children are expected to suffer acute malnutrition between now and June 2026.
This is the first time famine has been officially confirmed in the Middle East region. Every day, more persons are dying as a result of malnutrition, many of them children. At least 132,000 children are expected to suffer from acute malnutrition between now and June 2026. Older persons and persons with chronic diseases also continue to be disproportionately affected by the conflict and are among the vulnerable groups reportedly succumbing to malnutrition-related deaths. All this while, hundreds of trucks laden with life-saving aid sit a short distance away. We stand in front of you, especially disturbed by the levels of acute malnutrition among children in Gaza. We note that at least 41,000 children are at heightened risk of death from malnutrition between now and June 2026. Famine in Gaza must be stopped immediately.
Against this backdrop, Ambassador Udina Drubric of Slovenia outlined 3 immediate demands, including a permanent ceasefire and humanitarian action, lifting restrictions on aid delivery, and reversal of military expansion aimed at seizing Gaza City.
We call for an immediate, unconditional, and permanent ceasefire. We call for the immediate, dignified, and unconditional release of all hostages held by Hamas and other groups. We call for a substantive surge of humanitarian assistance throughout Gaza. We call on Israel to immediately reverse its decision to further expand its military operation in Gaza with the aim of taking over Gaza City. This decision, which we reject, will inevitably worsen the already horrific humanitarian situation and endanger the lives of all civilians, including the hostages. Time is of the essence. The humanitarian emergency must be addressed without delay, and Israel must reverse course.
Ambassador Prasad and Ambassador Drubrick, backed by Algeria, China, Denmark, France, Greece, Pakistan, Panama, and the Republic of Korea, along with the Russian Federation, Sierra Leone, Somalia, and United Kingdom, stressed the need for swift action. Bisham Mohammed, The Evening News.
Days after Attorney General Anil Nandlal wrote the Guyana Police Force on perceived attempts by political players to disrupt the elections process on Monday, the force has been quite forthcoming with its warning to the public to desist from doing so or they will face the consequences. In this Andrew Carmichael report, you will hear the Deputy Commissioner of Operations, Errol Watts, has reiterated the consequences.
During an election period in Guyana, the potential for violence often stems from deep-rooted ethnic and political divisions. Tensions can escalate due to perceptions of electoral fraud, lack of transparency, or delays in the vote counting, leading to protests, clashes, and even targeted attacks. Historical precedents, such as the unrest during the 2020 elections, highlighted how political rivalries and mistrust in democratic institutions can ignite widespread unrest. While efforts have been made to strengthen electoral systems and promote peace, the risk of violence remains a concern, especially if political leaders fail to call for calm and respect of due process. In light of this, joining Police Commissioner Clifton Hicken, his deputy, Errol Watts, believes that the police are ready to deal with anyone who may want to disrupt the peace during the upcoming elections.
We have received 50 double cab vehicles, which we have already distributed. Barbies tasted one so far, and we have kept the rest in Georgetown. So, you know, Georgetown is responsible for 69% of crimes in the country. So if we control Georgetown, Barbies is a very small area, and Georgetown is central, so that we will want to ensure that we set an example from Georgetown to ensure we police there properly. In addition to that, we are receiving we'll be receiving very shortly 30 ATVs and 30 cars, which will reinforce our land transportation capability. And we have received 19 DGS boats, which are already operational and discharged across the regions. And we have received our body cameras, our fireball, our stun guns, our less lethal force items. And I think our accommodations are second to none. I know the commander would have received his quota of sleeping accommodations and all the things. And we are ready for elections. As Deputy Commissioner of Operations, I will rely heavily on Mr. Norris.
Watt says, as it relates to Region 6, the responsibility to maintain peace is on the shoulders of Deputy Commander of Region 6, Superintendent Guy Nurse, who is equipped with both the experience and the skills.
I depend on you, sir, to lead the charge in Barbies with your experience as a former OCTSU, former Commander 10, very trained in Joint Operations Center Management, to ensure that all our police operational responsibilities in Region 6 are properly coordinated. That will be a blessing for the country, and that will be a blessing for everyone here. And there is no other person in the Guyana Police Force who is capable of ensuring that our operational discharge are second to none than Mr. Norris.
Watt says there is no need for violence and the force will have no compromise for anyone who tries to disrupt events during elections day.
Let this election be an example for all the members of the force who are talking about what we cannot do. Let us prove to them by our actions that we were prepared to run an election that is free, fair, and transparent, and we will be providing our resources that will ensure this is possible. We must not cherry pick on offenses when we run elections. Anyone who violates the laws of Guyana in relation to election offenses will be dealt with. There is no compromise in that. Do you agree with me? Anyone who attempts to light any fire on the road, to block any street or impede any other person's movement within 200 yards of a polling station or any place in any part of this country will be dealt with by the Guyana Police Force. That is a warning, but it's a caution to you. Vote, go home, and wait on the results. In 2-3 days' time after the first, you'll be told what the results are, and the system is very, very smooth.
A total of 435 polling stations will be erected across the region, with over 111,000 electors slated to cast their ballots. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic at 3 hours 55 on Friday, August 29, 2025, for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled to be closed to vehicular traffic at 7 hours 20 on Friday, August 29, 2025, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
Persaud wins Berbice Rapid Chess Tournament and Amir Karti Hales steer TKR to victory over Falcons. These stories and more coming up in this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MACORP.
It's Building Expo and Cricket Carnival time, and MACORP is knocking prices out of the park. Get the powerful CAT 320 GX for just 30 million, the SEM 655D reloader at 17.4 million, or the SEM 636D reloaded for only 13.8 million. Each machine comes with free fuel warranty registration, 2 years warranty, and a customer value agreement for the first 500 hours. Don't wait. Register your interest now at MACORPCAT.com or call us today on 703-8618. MACORP, let's build Guyana together.
Did you know that Gassie's Jet A1 fuel is a type of aviation fuel specially formulated for turbine engines? Jet A1 fuel is safer to handle and transport than any other fuel types due to its high flash point and low volatility. It also boasts a high energy content, enhancing aircraft performance and efficiency. So whether traveling for business or pleasure, choose Guyana's Jet A1 fuel for a safe, reliable, and efficient flight.
Seeing her succeed makes me proud, and I know I made the right choice by giving her Enfogrow since she was little. Knowing that 85% of brain growth will occur by age 3, Enfogrow's blend of ingredients such as DHA helps support your toddler's brain development and contains 22 nutrients to support their diet or nutrition. Enfogrow, what you do today will last forever. This product is not intended to be a substitute.
Attention builders and DIY pros. Transform your projects and upgrade your toolkit with Stanley. Start with precision cuts using the circular saw. Tackle tough jobs with the hammer drill. Achieve clean finishes with the tile cutter. Make angled cuts with the miter saw. Power through with the chop saw. And sharpen your skill with the bench grinder. Don't wait. Visit sylviesonline.com or stop by 31 High and Hatfield Streets or Lot 90 East Henrietta, Essequibo Coast to grab yours today. Upgrade your tools. Upgrade your results.
It's Scipio, it's Scipio time. Scipio, we're all in. Man, girl, and boy, feel the Scipio joy from every nation in the Caribbean. Larger than life, we're building legends in this Caribbean nation. We're all in. It's Scipio time.
We're all in. Republic Bank, title sponsor and official bank of the Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League.
Granny, what are you doing on the right of way? Like you're saying let the sunshine stretch your legs. Sunshine? Look, forget I ask. You know you're not supposed to be on the right of way, Granny. But I ain't digging, building, burning or planting. No horsing wrong, no horse riding or nothing for doing horses. But sunshine? But you and sunshine get out the right of way. Sunshine, let me glad. Good.
Seeing her succeed makes me proud, and I know I made the right choice by giving her Enfogrow since she was little. Knowing that 85% of brain growth will occur by age 3, Enfogro's blend of ingredients such as DHA helps support your toddler's brain development and contains 22 nutrients to support their diet or nutrition. Enfogro, what you do today will last forever. This product is not intended to be a substitute